News at Noon highlight for you today. We're doing things a little bit differently. Our sportscaster Corey Miller is here with a look at some of the top headlines in sports. Great to have you.
Great to be here.
What took you so long?
I know. I looked through all of my stuff. I save almost everything I do, and I could not find a sportscast where I got to share the desk with Kay Quinn. I wasn't going to let this week go by and her retire without me sharing the desk, so I figured I'd drop by.
Great moment.
Absolutely.
So glad to have you here. I'll try to run your prompter properly.
You'll do a great job.
Me.
Let's do a little dose of sports at noon today, and we're going to start down in Atlanta at the SEC Football Media Days. It was Mizzou head coach Eli Drinkwitz's turn at the mic this morning, and his first question was about one of his quarterbacks. Sam Horn is competing with Bo Prabula for the starting job, but Horn also was just selected by the Dodgers in the MLB draft as a pitcher. So what's the plan, Coach?
His agent had relayed the message to all the baseball organizations that he was going to play football this fall, and so nothing's changed. I called him the day of the draft to make sure he was having a draft party. I called him after he got drafted, and I told him, you know, the day he got drafted, was proud of him, and I'd see him at 6:30 at workouts in the morning.
It was a star-studded event last night for celebrating Cardinals champions with Tony La Russa. Names like Ozzie, Eckstein, Izzy, Morris, and Clark were there to recount some of their greatest moments. David Freese was there too, and he remembered his time under Tony La Russa like this.
We had a couple moments. I mean, I was a older young guy, but there was times where I would have a day off. I would go into his office, kind of say, "What are we doing here?" He would pull out his lineup cards and say, "You want my job?" That kind of stuff. I loved Tony in that sense because he had great feel for guys that wanted to win, wanted kind of the moment.
I'm working on a fun story for tonight at 10. Detroit Lions tight end Sam Laporta was back in town this week, helping out at a football camp in his hometown of Highland, Illinois. The former Bulldog turned Lion is one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and his hometown has continued to support him no matter where he goes.
We'll travel to away games. We'll go down to Dallas at AT&T Stadium, and I'll see a sign with a bunch of Highland kids. They're waving me down, and they're flashing their Highland shirts. I'm always waving to them, just thanking them for the support. It's pretty neat that I get this from my community.
So I told you this the other day. When I first came here as an intern, I was very intimidated. I had watched Channel 5 forever. You were one of the first people I met. You were so nice, and it just made me calm and maybe a little bit less nervous to work here.
So nice.
I appreciate it, and congrats on your retirement.
I have always enjoyed working with you, and thank you so much for the good wishes. Tell me, though, what is your prediction for the Blues? I'm a huge fan.
I really like what they're doing. They've had a plan that's been in place for a couple years, and it seems like it's really starting to come together. And I don't want to get people too excited. Don't buy your Stanley Cup Finals tickets, but I really like where they're going.
All right. Great working with you, Corey.
Thank you. Thanks for the cameo.
Thank you for being here. All right. Coming up.